So I was having an interesting conversation with a cousin of mine, who's female, concerning some realizations in dating and meeting people and boundaries and what have you. And so I wanted to share a little bit of that conversation. There's a lot to consider. Lots to consider. It's amazing that so many of us struggle in relationships and dating, picking the right individual or whatever. It's amazing that we still have issues, being humans on this planet and dealing with other human beings in various settings, relationships. It's just amazing that we still struggle with that issue. So why might that be? Why might we still struggle to find a fellow human being that aligns with our ambitions, our goals, our beliefs, our wants, etc., etc.? Why might we still struggle to find an adequate mate, as it were? I'll assert that maybe, just maybe, the expectations that we hold when we begin these pursuits, these expectations are set by something outside of ourselves. They may, in fact, be unnatural. By that I mean, as I stated before, they may not be real from or genuinely from within us. They may be set by the current trend. They may be set by television programming. They may be set by observation of someone else's relationship, and we learn something from that, and we say that's not what we want, or that's what we do want. Point being is that oftentimes what we may be in search of, or what we may be looking for, might be someone else's ideology or ideals when it comes to a mate. And we just aren't paying attention to the fact that you just might be trying to live someone else's life. Could that be? And so when you get that individual, now you have this expectation that, as I stated before, belongs to someone else, right? And so when you get the individual that meets the expectations that you borrowed from someone else, and you have to live with that individual, you have to share decisions with that individual, you have to pick places to eat, you have to pick movies, you have to pick things and share experiences with that individual. Well, that individual aligns with the expectations of the other person that you borrowed those expectations from, not with you. And you don't know what it is that you truly desire, want, or expect, because you're not using your genuine expectations. You're using somebody else's. And so I think a lot of times that's what we are faced with. That is what we are dealing with. Because oftentimes, while we're dating, in the very beginning, it's always good. I hear it's always said that. It's always said. It was great. It was great. It's always great in the beginning. But something changes. And I contend that something that changes is or becomes the realization that, wait a minute, I asked for something that apparently I didn't really want. And then the other individual is saying, or the person is saying, well, you knew this about me when you got with me. Oh, so you got with me to change me. Because now I'm in your face, 24/7, or we moved in together, or now we're sharing, we have things in common that we're sharing. And now that you see up close and personal, as they say, what I'm like, now you want to change me into what you really want. You know what I'm saying? Quite possibly that's what's happening. Whose expectations are you leveling against the person that you are pursuing? Have you done a soul searching, or are you watching Housewives of Atlanta, Sex in the City, and whatever other shows are out there? I don't watch any of that stuff, but Power or whatever, I don't know. I'm probably outdated, but you get my point. Whose expectations are you leveling against that individual you are pursuing? Okay? So just something to think about. I'm not going to belabor the time. Because, they say what you're looking for, you're going to find it. Are you reading fantasy books? Are you watching movies and you want to live that movie life, that superstar life? That's really what, I contend the human condition for the Western society. We're being so programmed by television, by movies. Everybody wants to be the characters that the actor is playing. Okay? Denzel Washington is not, the characters that he plays when he's doing, out in the private, or you get what I'm saying, when he's doing his own thing, he's living his own life. Whomever else you look up to in superstardom, they are not their characters. They're doing their job, they're acting. And so we, a lot of times, fall in love with the characters. We don't really sit down and get to know these actors and what really makes them tick and who they really are. And, most of them are married. And we, girls and guys, most of them are married. You never see their wives and their children and all that kind of stuff. You literally only see what you see on the screen, and you think that that's them. But they're acting in a role. And so, in closing, be careful. Make sure that you know you before you try to get to know someone else. Make sure that the expectation that you seek to hold that individual or potential mate to is an expectation that is homegrown inside of you, and it did not it was not birthed from Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that it was yours. And I think we'll start doing a lot better if we start to exercise our discretions in that way. Make sure you know that it is your expectations and not somebody else or else's. All right? With that being said, thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to put something on your mind as we do here. Thank you. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you on the next upload. All right? Think these things through, though. I think it's worth considering. All right? And again, this was motivated by a conversation having with, a member of the opposite sex who was sharing their experience in dating and trying to find the right one, wondering if this is the right one, wondering if this is what's going to make me happy, or am I just spinning my wheels? All right, people are really getting tired of going through the rigmarole of dating and courting and interviewing and all that. It's getting old. People are giving up, you know. And again, I contend that a lot of this is we're wrong from the start, from the jump. We're going into this with the wrong ideas and with high expectations. And again, I contend that those expectations have been set by somebody else, and they're not homegrown, and they're not truly your genuine expectation. All right, based on your core beliefs, I contend that they're not. They belong to somebody else. So examine yourself to see if this applies to you. If not, shake it off. Shake it off. All right. We'll see you next time. Peace.